The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And an early start this Good Friday morning. My name is Ron Checkett. Welcome to the program for Tax Day. I should ask the speaker to play Taxman by the Beatles, but that would get us all in trouble. How are you? So 11:30 Eastern start today because I've gotten a meeting downstairs in my building at 1, and I want to make sure that we get this stream done and dusted before I do that. So we got a good one for you today. It's the Kansas City Royals and the Baltimore Orioles. Kansas City is in first place in the American League West. Baltimore is now part of a 5-team chase in the American League East. Toronto, of course, still holds court. Boston and Detroit and Baltimore are all right there. And, of course, you can't count out the Yankees at 6.5 back. So the Orioles are doing better than expected. The Royals are about where we expected. It'll be Mark Gubassa versus Mike Boddicker on a warm Friday night, July 5th, 1985. If you're ready, so am I. Let's play some baseball, shall we? As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 85. Today, from Independence, Missouri, it is the Kansas City Royals and the Baltimore Orioles. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you doing, Steeler fan? Nice to have you along. Although it says I have 0 viewers. I have a chatter. So the president of the ID Jester Fan Club is on the hill today. Mark Gubassa, 23 years old, a fastball pitcher, 89, and a ground ball pitcher. He's making his 13th start of the year. He is 5-3 with an unrun average of .338. He beat the Orioles 14-5 on May 14th. His last start was June 30th, a loss to the California Angels. He went 5 2/3 through 121 pitches, 6 hits, 5 runs all earned, a homer. He walked 5 and struck out 1. So overall, Gubassa, 77 1/3 innings, 53 hits, 29 runs all earned. He's given up 5 homers. He has walked 42 and struck out 37. So 1949 says, we'd like you. Part of those young arms that the Royals have. Alan Wiggins has made the transition over from San Diego. He'll play second for Baltimore and lead off. In fact, today's his first day with the Baltimore Orioles. Lee Lacy is in right field. He'll bat second. Cal Ripken at short. He will hit third. Eddie Murray cleans up at first. Fred Lynn in center bats fifth. Jim Dwyer in left will bat sixth. Larry Sheets. I wonder if Berman ever got away with 2 sheets to the wind or bounce or something like that. For Larry, he's a DH. Wayne Gross at third will bat eighth. And Pardo, not Don, behind the plate for Baltimore. I think it's his first day, too. Mike Boddicker is on the hill for the Birdies. He should throw about 120 pitches. Defensively for the Royals, Lonnie Smith is a 4 and a 5 in left. Willie Wilson is an 8 and an 8 in center. Darryl Motley is a 3 and a 4 in right. George Brett is a 7 at third. Onyx Concepcion an 8 at short. Frank White an 8 at second. And Steve Balboni is a 5 at first. Jim Sundberg is an 8 and a 9 behind the plate. And Mark Gubassa is a 7 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Wiggins, as I said, will finish the year here in Baltimore at second base and is speedy and hit .285. No, he doesn't have any. Oh, real? Let's not do real. No, he doesn't have a record for Baltimore or for San Diego. That's interesting. Anyhow, so Wiggins digs in. His numbers with the Orioles, 285, 4 triples, and 21 RBI. He is a threat to bunt and stole 30 bases for Earl Weaver in half a year. So Brett and Balboni play for the bunt. Wiggins swings. That goes into left. Lonnie Smith comes in, and that's how this one starts with an out. Lee Lacy at 253. 5 homers and 17 RBI. We're with you on Easter Sunday for the Redskins and 49ers. And we're with you Tuesday, of course, at noon for the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Steeler fan stocking up on his Budweiser to bring into Dodger Stadium, I'm sure. Pitch to Lacy, or ball 4. Stocking up on his Budweiser to be in St. Louis. Cal Ripken at 301, 14 homers, 48 RBI. Lacy drew the full count, high and outside fastball for a walk. Pitch to Ripken. In the center field, Wilson goes back, makes the catch. 2 out, Lacy retreats back to first. Brings up Eddie Murray. Eddie at 301. 19 homers and 63 RBI. You travel with Yingling when in doubt. Well, I figured that you certainly wouldn't be rooting for the Dodgers. And I forgot we're in St. Louis, so there's plenty of Budweiser, Bud Light, Bud Limerita, Bud Hard Seltzer to go around. Gave you Murray's numbers. Here's the pitch. Walked him. So the second walk for Gubassa. Brings up Freddie Lynn, 274, 14 homers, 46 RBI. Orioles playing game 76. We'll cross halfway next week, by the way. For the Royals, this is game 77. Pitch to Freddie, runners on first and second. That's in the right field. Motley comes in to make the catch, and that will retire the side. Birdies go, well, they'll leave a couple on with the walks. No runs, no hits, no errors. Half an inning in the books, no score. So here's Mike Boddicker, 28 years old, making his 18th start of the year. 7-8 for the Orioles with a 4.31 ERA. He's a fastball pitcher at 91 and a ground ball plus pitcher. He has not faced Kansas City this year. His last start was against the Red Sox on June 30th. A 7-6 loss where he took it all hard. 8 innings, 118 pitches, 15 hits, 7 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 2. He threw a 3-hit shutout June 21st against the Brewers. Be difficult to shut out your own team, I suppose. And against the Yankees on the 25th, he shut them down in a 15-1 win. So overall for Boddicker, 123 in the third innings, 134 hits, 63 runs, 59 earned. 5 homers allowed. He's walked 60 and struck out 61. Here's the lineup he'll face. Willie Wilson leads off in center field. Lonnie Smith in left will bat second. George Brett at third will hit third. George Orta cleans up as the DH. Darryl Motley in right will bat fifth. Steve Balboni at first will go sixth. Frank White at second will bat seventh. Jim Sundberg behind the plate goes eighth. And Onyx Concepcion at short will bat ninth. Gubassa threw 23 pitches in his half of the first. Defensively, Jim Dwyer is 7-3 in left. Fred Lynn an 8 and a 4 in center. Lee Lacy a 5 and an 8 in right. Wayne Gross a 5 at third. Cal is a 7 at short. Alan Wiggins is a 3 at second. Eddie Murray is an 8 at first. Pardo, it's Saturday Night Live, is an 8 and a 3 behind the plate. And Boddicker is a 7 on the mound with a .973 fielding percentage. Willie Wilson steps up at 268, 2 homers, and 23 RBI. Boddicker starts his effort with a line drive or pop-up foul first base side, and Wiggins, who has never played in this park before, has it go out of play 2-2. You know, I went 18 innings yesterday playing as the home team and did not score a run. I don't think I've ever been shut out twice in the same day. Pitch to Wilson. There's a chopper to third. Gross goes across the way. Willie can run, and he is safe. He beat it out. So Willie has 28 steals on the year. Here's Lonnie Smith. 255, 3 triples, 2 homers, and 15 RBI. Throw to first. Wilson is back. Going to hit and run him. And there's a throw down to Wiggins, and Wilson is out. They got him. So my spidey sense hasn't been tingling all that well. Wilson is out, 2-4. And a 2-2 count to Lonnie Smith. Boddicker from the line. There's a ground ball to third. Same for play as before. Gross has to hurry, and Smith is safe. So Lonnie beat out the bang-banger, and that'll bring up George Brett. George at 346, 17 homers, and 44 RBI. 1 out here in the first, no score. Throw to first. Fool me once, shame on you. Lonnie's back, and now I gotta go. 97%. Pardo throws down to Ripken. Cal won't get the tag on in time. And for Smith, that's his 15th steal since coming over from St. Louis. So an 0-1 count to Brett. And Boddicker works from the stretch. Line drive to third. Gross is there, and Lonnie goes back. 2 out for Orta. George at 265. 10 doubles, no homers, and 26 RBI. Popped up. Right side. Wiggins has it for the out. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We've played 1. The Royals leave 1 on. No score. So Dwyer Sheets. That sounds like something Barbara Walters would say, right? And Gross to face Gubassa here in the second. Jim at 266, 7 homers, and 18 RBI. Dwyer Sheets. That sounds like an Elmer Fudd product, doesn't it? Don't forget to get your Dwyer Sheets. Pitch to Jim. Little number down to Balboni. He'll underhand it to Gubassa, 1 out. There's Larry Sheets. Larry at 251, 8 homers and 24 RBI. Orioles did not get a great start to this replay. In real life, I believe, wasn't it the father Ripken that was fired? Or was it Altobelli? Ultimately replaced by Earl Weaver. And they have played inspired baseball since. Pitch to Larry. There's a base hit into right field. Motley will pick it up. And for the Orioles, that is their first hit. Here's Wayne Gross. Wayne at 223, 10 homers. Not going to play too many more games for Baltimore. And 23 RBI. Sheets not a threat to steal. Chopper up the middle. White will get it. Only play is to first. Balboni's there for the out. Larry goes to second. So 2 out for Al Pardo. I wonder if that is any relation to Don. Anyway, just like Wiggins, Al is making his 1985 debut for the Orioles. In real life, hit 133, 10 for 75 with an RBI. So those of you who are fans of Dave Stegman, this could be one of those type of efforts. Sheets on second, 2 out. Pardo swings, ground ball up the box. White behind the bag at second, over to first, and that will retire the side. No runs for the Orioles on a hit and no errors. Bottom of the second here, no score. So it'll be Motley, Balboni, and White to face Boddicker in the second. Darrell at 253, 8 homers and 25 RBI. Pitch to Darrell. Struck him out. He got him on a full count change just at the belt. And that'll bring up Balboni. Steve at 249. Home runs are right on pace. He's hit 18, driven in 53, and has struck out 73 times in 281 at-bats. Boddicker's pitch. There's a ground ball to short. Ripken in the hole. Fires to first. And Balboni is retired. That brings up White. Frank at 285. He had 22 homers, which surprised me in real life. Has 12 so far in the replay and driven in 50. Boddicker winds and deals, and there's a fly ball to left. Dwyer will make the catch. He doesn't even have to move, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the third. It's the Orioles nothing, the Royals nothing. So Gubassa opening 9 on 39 pitches, 2 innings, just the 1 hit. That was Sheets. He has walked 2 and hasn't struck out anybody. Wiggins is 0 for 1. Again, he was with San Diego for a long time and started the year with the Padres. He walks. Brings up Lee Lacy, who has a 9-game hitting streak. He walked his first time up. Third, issued by Gubassa. Pitch to Lacy. In the left center. Back goes Wilson, way back to the base of the track. 1 out. Concepcion went out there to... That fooled me. So 1 out for Ripken. Cal is 0 for 1. Yingling is now available here in some New England states. I've never had it. I know it is the pride and joy of Philadelphia. So I'm surprised that someone by the name of Steeler fan would drink something from Philly. There goes Wiggins. The throw down to White goes into center field. Wiggins not only has the base stolen, he takes advantage of the bad throw by Sundberg and goes to third. So he takes an extra 90 on the error. Cal is 0 for 1. It's available in Texas now, too, thank goodness. There's a beer distributor that does a lot of those regional brands. If you listen to the show and read the comments for Digital Dice, we got talking about Cook Beer, who's made by now the Boston Brewery Company. Cook, I believe, is made in Dunkirk, New York, which is whereabouts my dad was from. But there's been a resurgence of what I would call grandpa beers. That's because it's what they would drink when we were kids. And in New England, it would be Narragansett. And in New York State, Genesee. And Stroh's, I believe, as a presence. Do they still make hams down in Texas? Pitch to Ripken. There's a slow chopper to Concepcion. They'll concede the run. The throw to Balboni is in time, and Baltimore leads at 1-0, 2 out here in the third. brings up Eddie Murray, who's sitting on a 7-game hitting streak. Walked his first time up. You're not familiar with hams. It would be 2 M's. And that was a big beer in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. It came from, I believe it was from the upper Midwest. From the land of sky blue waters. You should look it up on YouTube. Some very catchy jingles. Pitch to Murray. There's a line drive to second. White is there, and will retire the side. Orioles, however, get a hit. Or a run, rather. No hits in the air as Alan Wiggins stole second and went to third. Bottom 3, 1-0 Baltimore. Finally got to work on your phone. Oh, that's cool. And again, normal time Sunday and Tuesday. Here's Sundberg. It was Sundberg's error that put Wiggins on third in the top of the inning. Jim is at 240, 8 homers and 29 RBI. Jamie, of course, who grew up in the Washington area and Baltimore area. Natty Bo would be their local beer of choice. National Bohemian. And if you're familiar with the Pringles logo, it's just a guy with one eye instead of 2. I don't know what Florida would have had for the grandpa local beer. Pitch to Sundberg. There's a ground ball to first. Murray will underhand it to Boddicker for the out. So 1 out for Concepcion. Onyx at 185. 3 homers and 15 RBI. In the shallow right center, Lynn rides the Schwinn, 2 out. And that brings up Willie Wilson. Hams is brewed in Toronto. Well, as someone who grew up in the eastern part of, the western part of New England, the eastern part of New York, that's kind of considered the Midwest. Willie singled his first time up. Boddicker's opening 9, 39 pitches, 2 2/3, 2 hits and a strikeout. And Wilson chops that up the middle. Wiggins behind the bag over to Murray. And that is the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. John DFW, how are you? Good morning to you as well. They've been subscribed 13 months. How about that? Anyway, we go to the 4th, 1-0. So John from Dallas. Or from the Department of Funworks, one of the 2. Freddie Lynn will lead off the 4th. Dwyer and Sheets. Made, of course, by Elmer Fudd. Fred's 0 for 1. There's a line drive to second. White is there. 1 out. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you are, too. Here's Dwyer. Jim is 0 for 1. Mark Gubassa, by the way, there's about 2 of you who'll get this joke, is the president of the ID Jester fan club. Pitch to Dwyer. Here's a fly ball to left. Lonnie goes in the corner. Smith is going to... Can't get it. Can't get it. Thought he had it. Crowd moved back, but it hit a seat. So the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Brett across the way. Balboni's there for the out. So 2 out here in the 4th. 1-0 Orioles. Larry Sheets singled his first time up. 1 for 1. Gubas has already thrown 66 pitches. Not the most efficient outing in the world. He's walked 3 and hasn't struck out anybody. Got him. Just as soon as I say that, he gets Larry Sheets. Got him looking. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 4, 1-0. So let's take a look at the standings on this 5th day of July. The Dodgers lead the Astros by 5.5. Cincinnati by 10. Cincinnati finally has a positive run differential. And also 3 games in hand over the Giants. Then San Diego and Atlanta. In the East, St. Louis by 11.5 over Montreal. Then Pittsburgh, Chicago, the Mets. I can't put my finger on the Mets problem. They're 17.5 back. And the Eagles. And the American. Here's how big St. Louis's lead is. The gap between Kansas City in first place in the American League West and the Twins in last is smaller than the difference between St. Louis and Montreal by 2 games. California 2.5 back. Oakland's won 3 straight. They're 5.5 back. And it really does seem to come down to if you finish above 500, you got a good chance to win the West. The Royals are the only team in that division with a positive run differential. In the East, we got a 5-team chase. Toronto by 3.5 over the Red Sox. And 5.5 over Baltimore and Detroit. And the Yankees can't really count them out at 39 and 36. And would you believe the Red Sox have the best offense in baseball? You want to know who the best pitching staff is? The Dodgers. No, I haven't been playing. No, you know what? We did a Braves game yesterday, July 4th. It didn't go 19. Lonnie Smith singled his first time up. And Lonnie struck out a 3-2 fastball inside on the black, 1 out. For the fun, let's count the Yankees out. Yankee fans watch us. Here's Brett. George is 0 for 1. Happy Friday. Good afternoon, Tribe fan. We talked about the Met-Brave game, and I would have sworn the Braves had won that game, but they didn't. Someone corrected me on the podcast about that. Brett's 0 for 1. And there's a line drive to second. Wiggins is there. 2 out. Brings up Orta, who's 0 for 1. It is so mid-80s Braves that Rick Camp pulled them ahead in the 18th and gave up 5 runs in the 19th. So in our world, the Mets won 1-0. Blake Gooden outdueled Rick Mailer, and everybody got their fireworks in time to watch the Andy Griffith reunion movie at 10:10 on TBS. Pitch to Orta. Ground ball to second again. Wiggins over to Murray for the out. So after 4, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's 1-0 Orioles. Hey, I thought the Braves had won that game. I was wrong. So Wayne Gross, Al Pardo, and Al Wiggins to face Gubassa here in the 5th. Wayne is 0 for 1. Pitch from Mark. And there's a base hit into right field. Motley will cut it off. And for Baltimore, that is their second hit. Here's Al Pardo. Not even a household name in his own house. 0 for 1 on the season. 0 for 1 on the replay. Gubassa winds from the stretch. Struck him out. A 1-2 cutter on the outside corner. So 1 out for Alan Wiggins. Allen walked, stole second, reached third as Sundberg's throw went into center field and scored. Finally got a game in, Tribe fan says, from his 2007 Indians replay. Indians left on 12 runners against the Tigers. I bet you can guess who won. That sounds like a Red Sox game from 1985. So you're saying you lost that one, huh? You doing the full Monty of that on YouTube or what? 1 out, Gross on first. Wiggins sends this one into right. Motley will make the catch against the railing of the stands. So a good play for him. Yeah, Rick. Oh, he only lived to be 60. Oof. Rick Camp. Here's Lee Lacy, 0 for 1 with a walk. You know, it'd be curious. I wonder if, John, any of the players have written a book about that era, because it was the height of the superstation era on cable television. Yes, you got the Cubs as early as the late 70s, but of course they played all of their day games, at home during the day. I said that sentence wrong. They played all of their home games during the day as opposed to at night when most people were home to relax, and unless you had a local team in your area, that was the baseball you got, except for Saturday afternoons and Monday nights. Only the best game of the series, Tribe Fan says. Think I'm going to tweak my recap videos to just include the standings and only the results of offline games, and maybe a stat or two from the game. If you're not subscribed to him, you should be. It would be a great book because they got a lot of notoriety just because of Ted Turner. Lacey's 0 for 1, Gross on first. Struck him out. That's 3 for Gubassa. Halfway home, we'll finish that thought right after we do the recap. And you hear from us. Well, if you joined us late, here's how we got here. A fielder's choice by Cal Ripken drove in a run in the third, and that's the lone run of the ball game. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors for the Orioles. No runs, 2 hits, and error for Kansas City. Mike Boddicker, a 2-hitter through 4. Bart Gubassa, a 2-hitter through 5, and the run was unearned. So good pitching on both sides. Motley struck out his first time up. Boddicker has fanned 2 so far. Yeah, so you would think that there would be a lot of interest in those Braves teams. Of course, they won the division in '82. Just simply because for a lot of folks, they were on every night. Good, bad, or indifferent, if you were a baseball fan and didn't live in a city with minor league baseball or live close enough to on the East Coast where you'd get Yankee or Met or sometimes even Red Sox games, that was your lifeline. Pitch to Motley. There's a ground ball to third. Gross over to Murray for the first out. MLB had a contract with the USA Network to do games, I think, Wednesday nights. Doubleheader. And when that deal ran out for the '84 season, they did not go cable. I mean, even the NFL had a cable contract by '87. The NHL had a cable contract. NBA was on 2 networks for a while, but not baseball, except for the Superstation teams. Here's Balboni. He's 0 for 1. John is replaying the '80 Brave season on Strap PC, essentially a 500 team. Murph maturing into a center fielder, and of course you got Bob Horner at third. You don't have Chambliss yet, do you? Pitch to Balboni. Steve slaps out one to third. Gross has to hurry over to first for the out. So 2 out for White. Frank is 0 for 1. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Orioles. They've left on 4. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Royals, and they've left on 1. White's 0 for 1. Frank lines out 1 to Wiggins, and Allen makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 6th, 1-0 Baltimore. As far as Gubassa, given the fatigue warning already. So we'll keep an eye on him. Ripken, Murray, and Lynn. So now, if I was shut out for 18 innings yesterday, and I add 5 to that today, that's 23. We'll have Gardner playing these games before too much longer, and I'm going to go look for a pickle, Rick. Pitch to Cal. There is a ground ball to White. He has to come in on it. Quick throw to Balboni for the out. The Chambliss is on that team. Okay, so he's over from the Yankees. Bullpen is good, but there really isn't any starting pitching behind Niekro. Rick Mailer has to be there. Tommy Boggs. Here's Eddie Murray. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Pitch to Eddie. There's a ground ball to third. Brett over to first for the out. So the foundation is there for the 82 team. Here's Lynn. Freddie's 0 for 2. Mailer isn't up yet. Okay. It's always amazing to look at a picture of Phil Niekro in his early 40s with Atlanta. And the fact that he looked 900 years old. You know, one of the best pictures I ever saw of Phil Niekro was his Hall of Fame speech. He looked great. Pitch to Lynn. Walked him. So Gubassa's walked 4 now. Brings up Dwyer. Jim is 0 for 2. Sundberg goes out to have a word, and that word is strike. Or not. Ball 4. 5th walk. So 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Here's Larry Sheets. He's 1 for 2. Single struck out. 1 for 2. There's a fly ball into left center. Wilson should track that one down. He will, and the side is retired. So Gubassa's day is probably done after 6. No runs, no hits. They leave on 2 to the Orioles after 5.5. 1-0 birdies. So Sundberg, Concepcion, and Wilson. Boddicker cruising along. He's on 66 pitches. Sundberg is 0 for 1. Walked him. Probably one of the safer batters for the Orioles to walk. Sundberg has no speed. Concepcion here is going to square. He's 0 for 1. Going to drop one down here. He does. Boddicker off the mound. Only play is to first, and he almost beat it out. Goodness gracious me. He does his job. The sacrifice is there. Think in 1980 when I read that Steeler fan, and I had to do a say what. Here's Willie Wilson. Willie is 1 for 2. He is singled. Boddicker, his opening 18 on 72 pitches, 5 in the 3rd innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Astros in your 2018 replay, and I'll be nice and not play Todd Rundgren's. All they want to do is bang on the drum all day. Or the garbage can, if you will. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. 105-47. Scrap PC, and you clinched the AL West on September 5th. You know, the sad thing... Oh, they should have won the World Series in 2018, but alas, the Red Sox cheated. We learned from you guys, Alex Cora. You know, the sad thing is about all that is that the Astros are just a good team, period. Pitch to Wilson. There's a ground ball to Ripken. Over to Murray, and Sundberg will stay put for the out. So 2 out for Lonnie Smith, who's 1 for 2. He singled and struck out. 105-47. Yep, the Orioles had a great year in 80. They won 100 games and didn't make the playoffs. And Kansas City finally conquered their demons in New York to go to the World Series. And now, their manager is the old manager of the Yankees, Dick Howser. Pitch to Lonnie. There's a line drive to center. Lynn will play it perfectly, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 7th. 1-0 Baltimore. Here's Gross. Pardo and Wiggins to follow. Gubassa pretty much down to brass tacks. Wayne is 1 for 2 with a single. Walked him. And out will come Hauser now. Although he's going to wait. They'll give him Pardo, who's 0 for 2. See if Pardo can hit into a double play. Could there be a 1-0 daily double? Oh, we've had some high offensive games here. Yeah. You never know. Got him. So that's 4 for Gubassa. A 1-2 fastball in the inside corner. And that'll do it for Mark. Who can I go with? Well, we're going to go with, is it a Quisenberry pitch yesterday? Joe Beckwith. Beckwith, 30 years old, fastball pitcher at 92 and a standard pitcher, making his 29th appearance of the year. Third against the Birdies, 2 2/3 innings, 6 hits, a run it was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1, no decision, and an ERA of 3.38. Last pitched on the 2nd in a 4-3 loss to the A's. Inning in 2/3, 24 hits, or 24 pitches, and 1 hit. 45 in the 3rd innings overall, 44 hits, 15 runs, 13 earned, 4 homers. He walked 12, struck out 32, and is 2-0 on the replay with 2 saves and an ERA of 2.58. So Gross on first after the walk in a 1-0 game, top of the 7th. Pitch to Wiggins, who's 0 for 2. That's going to be his first American League hit as he punches that one into center field. So first and second, 1 out. Yeah, you're going to mail me a trick. You should. I don't think I've scored a run. I'll have to look. I know I didn't yesterday. Here's Lacey. Lee is 0 for 2. He has walked and struck out. Beckwith deals, and that's into right center. Wilson will go back and make the catch, 2 out. Gross to tag and goes to third. So the Orioles have runners on the corners for Cal Ripken, who is 0 for 3 with an RBI. Runners on first and third. There's a liner to center. Wilson moves over, makes the catch to retire the side. Stretch time, 1-0. Drinking my lunch during the break. A blueberry banana yogurt smoothie. Oh, it's good. It'll be Brett, Orta, and Motley here for the Royals in the 7th. George is 0 for 2. Pitch from Boddicker. There's a base hit in the left center field. So Brett reaches to start the 7th. And now I'll bring up Orta, who is 0 for 2. Pitch to George. Ground ball to second. Wiggins over to Ripken for 1. The throw to Murray. And yeah, I'll send you my snail mail address if you want to mail me a tin can. Call it 2, 4, 6, 3, and there's 2 out. That brings up Motley. Darrell is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. We are firm believers in good pitching in this replay. Pitch to Motley. Struck him out. So Bodeker's through 7. He swings and misses, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. After 7, 1-0 Baltimore. So Eddie Murray, Freddie Lynn, and Jim Dwyer to face Beckwith here in the 8th. Murray is 0 for 2 and has drawn a walk. You know, yes, speaking of that Met-Brave game yesterday, you remember me telling the story, no, Ron, we don't listen to you at all, of the, listening to the all-night radio station in my sleep, and the young woman that was the DJ of all the Wham and David Bowie music at the time, reading the scores, and I thought that the wire machine was broken because that Mets-Braves game just wasn't over yet. Remember that? Pitch to Murray. Eddie grounds out 1 to short. Concepcion snap throw to first. And it's an error. It got away from Balboni. And Keith Olbermann's bomb got hit again. Oh my goodness gracious. So Concepcion throws that one out of play, and Murray goes to second. Nobody out for Lynn on the 2-base error. Freddie is 0 for 2 with a walk. Struck him out. Beckwith got him on a 2-2 curve. Swinging. That brings up Dwyer, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. So someone just nod if they remember that story from yesterday in the chat. Pitch to Dwyer. There's a liner in the right field. That's going to drop in front of Motley. Murray's going to round third. Darrell doesn't have a good arm. Murray's going to score without a throw. And Len Cicada is going to pinch run at first. And so it's 2-0 Baltimore, and here's Sheets. Larry 1 for 3, a single and struck out. We have a nice artsy paper here that comes out once a week. It's called 7 Days. You might have heard of them. I mean, they also delve into political news and state news. But they really are the best arts-based weekly paper that we've had up here. And so, in this week's edition, which came out Wednesday, and I hadn't seen it, I knew that I was going to do the Mets-Braves game for the 4th of July and tell the story of the young lady who kept telling me that the Mets and Braves were still playing. Well, they ran. She's still up here. She is now the morning personality at the little AM station that still plays music, okay? For our parents, if they're so inclined. And she's been doing it for a long, long time. And so, as soon as I was done with the stream yesterday, and I'm looking through, and I saw that they profiled her. She got a 4-page profile in the paper. And it was a wonderful read. And the timing of that, I thought, was just magnificent. And so, she has a small but devoted audience because A, it's AM radio, B, it's a pea shooter station, and C, it's music on AM. So it's not like it's going to be anything that your kids or grandkids would listen to. I just thought that was so cool. So her name is Ginny McGee, and she's been a fixture on Burlington radio starting from 1980, and drew the short end of the stick and yapped in my ear as I slept the morning of July 5th, 1985. Sundberg and Beckwith have a conversation. Pitch to Sheets. Larry hits this one into right. Motley makes the catch. Cicada goes back to first. There's Wayne Gross. He's 1 for 2. He has singled a walk. The station doesn't even stream. I can't even tell you to go look up WJOY because it won't matter. You can't hear her anyway. I just thought that was great. It is crazy how stuff like that happens sometimes. And just such a random thing, I mean, it could have been anybody that was doing that, because you were live overnight in the 80s. Gross, single to walk, he's 1 for 2. Pitch to Wayne. To third, Brett has to hurry. He's going to go for the out at first. Gross is running, and Wayne is out on a bang-banger. And that will retire the side. The Orioles, somehow I forgot they scored again. They got 1 run, 1 hit, and the 1 error, and it's costly. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-0 Baltimore. And no, now I still haven't scored in 2 days. So here's Balboni. He is 0 for 2, White and Sundberg. And if anybody should reach a pinch hitter from Mr. Concepcion. So Boddicker cruising right along. He's got a 3-hitter through 7. Got him. Of course he did. A 2-2 changeup swung on and missed. So 1 out for White. Frank is 0 for 2. Boddicker winds and deals. In the shallow center field, Lynn comes in, 2 out. And now I'll bring up Sundberg. Jim is 0 for 1 with a walk. I think over the weekend I'm going to pull out my VHS copy of Tom Amansky's baseball drills and see if I can remember how to hit. Pitch to Sundberg. Walked him.
Take your base.
Well, we will pinch hit here for Concepcion, who can hit a righty. Hal McRae, as a pinch hitter, he's hitting .273, 2 homers and 4 RBI. Overall, .337, 8 homers and 17 RBI. Yeah, I saw that Mike Bossy finally passed away. We'll do something at the beginning of next week, maybe Monday. Been a rough year for the Islanders and their fans. It's their 3rd key player from the 70s that they've lost. Of course, Clark Gillies died earlier. And Jean Potvin, the defenseman from the beginnings of their dynasty years. Bossy had lung cancer, I think. And so we knew it was coming. What a talent. What a talent. I mean, the front line of that core with Brian Trottier at center, Clark Gillies on the left, and Mike Bossy on the right. Yeah, lung cancer. And young, 67's not that old. Pitch to McRae. Hal in the right center. Lynn will make the catch. And we're through 8. No runs, no hits, no errors. Goodness gracious. 2-0 Baltimore. 65, that's even worse. My dad died at 66. So Beckwith will get Pardo, who was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And, oh, what do you mean I need a shortstop? We'll bring in Buddy Biancalana, who is an 8, and he'll bat 9. Steeler fan says about 15, 20 years ago, I went to see the newest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And there was a large woman with a small role in the movie. After the movie, we went to eat, and there was a woman that resembled her at the restaurant. I joked it was her, and then saw in the paper a few days later that she was a local drama teacher. It was her! How cool is that? That is great. Did you ever run into her and talk about that? That is crazy. Pitch to Pardo. Ground ball to first. Balboni will underhand it to Beckwith for the out. So we'll give Beckwith the base runner. Wiggins 1 for 3. He has singled, stole a base, Reached third on an error, walked, and scored. No, never saw it. That's crazy. Walked him, and that'll do it for Beckwith. David Letterman now has a YouTube channel, an official one with clips and stuff. Let's put in, what are we doing here? Righty, switchy. Let's put in Quisenberry. Dan is 5-4 with 14 saves. And an ERA of 3.07. He's making his 28th appearance of the year. 32 years old, a fastball at 83. And a ground ball plus pitcher. Pitched last night and got the win against the Orioles in Kansas City's 4-3 triumph. 1 inning, 19 pitches, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. So overall, 44 innings, 55 hits, 17 runs, 15 earned, 2 homers. He's walked 6 and struck out 20. Not a save situation. This would be a win if he can pull it off. But with the way that my offense is run, that's probably unlikely. He's having a good year. A month ago, his earned run average was 4.05. So in the month of June, well, he's only thrown 2. Oh yeah, in the month of June, in July, well, it's better. Never mind. He's converted 14 to 16 saves. Lacey is 0 for 3. He has walked and struck out. So, just, the YouTube algorithm, and you just kind of go down the hole with it. And it was Julie Louise Dreyfus from 1993 or 1994, and she was looking all that in a bag of chips. And so someone walked up to her and said, in a park or something, pitched to Lacey. There's a ground ball to White. Frank's great play. Biancalana for 1, and that's it. So Lacey will reach. The throw is late. But White gets the force at second, 4-6. So 2 out for Ripken, who's 0 for 4 with an RBI. So, someone came up to her in the park and said, "You look a lot like Elaine Bennis." And Julia says, I get that a lot. I get that a lot. And there was an older woman that came up to her, and she said, "But you're prettier than she is." And it's kind of hard at that point to bite your tongue, because the first thing you want to say is, "Oh, that's me," but she played along with it, and she said, "Well, thank you very much." And as the conversation was about to end, and she said, do you watch Seinfeld? And Julia said, "I don't really watch a lot of television, though, so I'm not really familiar with it." Okay. And as the woman leaves, and I don't think it's any relation to Jerry Seinfeld, she said, "That show is just terrible." But I like Steeler fan story, too. That's cute. Pitch to Ripken. Cal swings, ground ball to White, over to first, and that will retire the side. Orioles strand the runner. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 9, 2-0. Baltimore. So the Royals need 2 to tie and 3 to win. Boddicker has gone the distance. 27 batters deep, 8 innings, 3 hits, 115 pitches, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Wilson is 1 for 3 with a single. Boddicker stays in the game. Ground ball to Wiggins. Allen throws to first for the out. No, I didn't remember that. Just happened to be a clip. See, one of those small world things. Elaine, if you remember, was certainly not a Mets fan or a Keith Hernandez fan, but was an Oriole fan. I did not know that. Here's Lonnie Smith. Lonnie 1 for 3. Has singled, struck out, and stole his 15th base. Pitch to Smith. There's a ground ball to Gross. Wayne has to hurry over to Murray, and Lonnie is safe. He beat it out. So on the bang-banger, Lonnie is on. That's the 4th hit for the Royals. He has 2, and so the tying run is at the plate and George Brett. He is 1 for 3 with a single. Boddicker throws to first, and Smith is back in there. Infield guards the lines. Pitch to Brett. Got him. 2 out. So George Orta's up. Last chance saloon for the Orioles. There's an episode of Seinfeld when she went to a Yankee game with tickets provided by Steinbrenner and she wore an Orioles hat, which caused a ruckus. That sounds... Yeah, that's Seinfeld. So Smith's going to try and steal. Let's see what they do with Orta after. There goes Smith. Pardo's throw to Cal, and Lonnie's got his 16th. So there was a throw. It's not defensive indifference. So Orta, now with first base open, has the runner on second and Smith, who's going to score pretty much on anything. Pitch to Orta. Line drive to Wiggins, and I've been shut out 3 straight games. 3 straight games. I haven't scored a run. Look at you with a runner in scoring position. Yep. One of the first things I ever learned about baseball, playoffs, back in the late 70s, was the whole thing with runners in scoring position. If you couldn't convert those, you weren't going to win playoff games. You know what? Yeah, I'll have to look. We'll do that before we sign off. That's, yeah. Anywho, the final score, the Orioles 2, the Royals nothing. 2 runs, like the third downs on football, absolutely. Ron has left South Burlington on the base paths. Yeah, if I was the one doing free ice cream cone day at Ben & Jerry, no one would show up. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Orioles. They leave on 10. The Royals, no runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors, and they leave on 4. Time to hit the batting. Oh, yeah. Does it list Rispy here? It does not give you Rispy here. Anyway, Mike Boddicker is going to get the Digital Dice MVP, a 4-hitter. How about that? Walked 2, struck out 5 at plus stuff. Mark Gubassa, 5-4 now. 6 1/3, 2 hits. And I lost on 2 unearned runs. Gubassa and Beckwith both gave up an unearned run. Goodness gracious, Buffy St. Marie. Let's do the rest of the day in baseball. So the lead now for Kansas City, depending on what California does, is 2. And as soon as that scrolls up in Baltimore now, it trails by 5. All right, let me see what I did on Wednesday first. Come on, you can open up. You know what? I forgot to say. Bad me, because I've had a pretty good crowd. Ram 29 Jackson is our latest follower. You didn't earn it. Why did they win? Because Jim Sundberg threw a ball into center field. Wednesday, who did I play? I scored 2 against for the Blue Jays. So I've gone since the 8th inning of Wednesday's game. So I've gone 29 innings without scoring a run. Isn't that exciting? All right. The rest of this Friday in baseball for you. Day game at Wrigley. The Cubs beat the Giants 11-3. Scott Sanderson 7-3. Vida Blue 2-4. Davey Lopes 3 for 5. His second of the year. He drove in 2. Cubs at 18 hits, and Ron Say 2 hits, a homer. He drove in 6, including a grand slam. Pirates beat the Padres 4-3 in 10. Rick Russell 6-1. Come on, go back. Tim Stoddard falls to 1-4. Gary Templeton 2 for 4 with a triple. Lee Tunnell starts the game. Goes 7 innings, allows 2 hits, an earned run, and a walk. Mets beat the Braves 4-3. Rick Aguilera goes to 2-2. Shields falls to 0-5. Yarnell to stop watching. Rick Aguilera also went 3-3 for the double. Yankees beat the Twins in 13, 3-2. Fisher goes to 2-1. Brown 0-1. Ricky Henderson 1-4. A triple and 2 walks. Reds beat the Phillies 11-8. That's where all the offense went to Brad. Tom Browning goes to 9-4. The corpse of Jerry Koosman falls to 1-8. Rick Shue, of all people, 2-4, 2 homers. Now it's 5 on the year, and drove in 2. Shy Sox beat the Indians 6-1. Seaver goes to 7-9. Reed 1-1. Harold Baines, a Hall of Famer, 3-4. His 12th of the year and drives in 2. Montreal beats Houston 4-3. Mickey Mailer gets the win. 2-2. Mike Scott 8-7. Mike Fitzgerald 1-2, his 4th of the year. As soon as I can move this, he drives in 3. Cardinals beat the Dodgers 6-3. Danny Cox is a 10-game winner. He beats Jay Howell. Jack Clark 2-5 hits his 9th of the year and drives in 3. Texas doubles Detroit 8-4. Charlie Huff 13-5. Jack Morris falls to 7-11. Pete O'Brien 3-4. 12th RBI or 12th home run and drove in 2. Oakland behind Bill Kruger throws a 1-hitter, strikes out 2, shuts down the Jays 2-0. Jim Clancy takes the loss. Kruger 5-5. Clancy 3-4. Seattle beats Milwaukee 5-1. Matt Young goes to 6-8. Ray Burris 3-8. Cecil Cooper 3-4. And last but not least, California beats Boston 4-3. So the Angels have cut the Royals deficit to 1.5. Donnie Moore goes to 7-4. My best friend in the entire world, Bob Stanley, 4-4. And Jim Rice, another homer, he went 2-5. And now has 16. Next week on the channel, or tomorrow, it'll be the Cardinals and the Dodgers on Tuesday. The Royals and the Yankees on Wednesday. And on Thursday, what did I pick? The Blue Jays and the Angels. So hopefully 3 entertaining games for you. And just maybe, all score a run. 29 innings. Are you kidding me? All right, have yourselves a great weekend. Sunday it'll be the Redskins and the 49ers from San Francisco in an NFC divisional playoff. Until then, have yourself a happy holiday season, whatever you celebrate. So long, everybody.